cold, clear Belfast night, a packed house, crackling atmosphere, European rugby just how we like it. And for all the disappointment of Ulster's first 2 defeats, the expectation here does not diminish. So the protagonists tonight, 2 key men returning today after injury for Ulster, perhaps none so important as Ruan Pienaar, the brains of the team, the organisation, the link man, back at scrum half for the first time this season after knee trouble. He partners Ian Humphreys at half-back. Paddy Jackson sidelined, remember. Stuart Olding is at 12 this week, in from fullback where he started last week against Munster. Tommy Bowe should be fresh after a week off and looking to impose himself from the right wing. In the pack, Dan Tui's return is big news in these parts. Now recovered from a broken arm, he'll start at lock, packing down behind the same front row as on duty last week, and Robbie Dyack on the blind side. The Scarlets, Wayne Pivac's biggest issue this week, no John Barclay at 7, owing to a dead leg. James Davis has been impressing there recently. He'll take up the open side job alongside Shingler and the heavy carrying Pittman. Several internationals return though. Jake Ball has passed the necessary concussion test to line up in the second row. Samson Lee also back from the Wales camp to shore up the scrum at tight head. The back division features Aled Davis and Rhys Priestland at 9 and 10. Scott Williams captains from inside centre, with Regan King outside him, having returned from injury last week. Neither side with what you might call a blockbuster bench. Ulster will look to the late power of Declan Fitzpatrick for an impact and Paul Marshall to relieve Pienaar at some point. The Scarlets with an extra quality tight head of their own in Rodri Jones, and keep an eye out for the other Rodri at 9. This one of Williams, and no slouch. So a big night for all concerned. Ulster, after defeats to Leicester and Toulon, have left themselves rather a lot to do, realistically needing 2 bonus point wins in this double-header over the next couple of weekends. No side has qualified for the quarterfinals in Europe after losing their first 2. But you never know. Maybe with the new format it's possible. Certainly the Ravenhill faithful believe it can be done. One of the great theatres of rugby. So often that 16th man for their team. A proud European record to uphold. Champions, of course, back in '99. Runners-up in 2012. And quarter-finalists for the last 4 seasons. They expect success here, even without a handful of key men, the likes of Jackson, Trimble, Payne and Henry, all missing tonight. The Scarlets, of course, looking to straighten out a poor record away from home this season. But before the rugby, a moment of reflection to remember an iconic figure in Irish rugby, a man cherished in these parts particularly, Jack Kyle, who sadly died last Friday at the age of 88. 46 caps for Ireland, a Lion in 1950, and of course delivering that famous Grand Slam in 1948, not repeated until 2009. A special rugby talent, much missed.
Could you please now stand for a minute of silence for Dr. Jack Kyle?
Respectful silence, respectful applause, and Brian, Jack Kyle, a great of the game of rugby, and a man, of course, you met when you managed to achieve the Grand Slam in 2009.
Yeah, it was a fantastic moment on the lap of honour to be able to share with him. He came down from his seat in the stand and said that he was only too happy to pass on the mantle, the burden that they'd held for 61 years and pass it on to us. So a lovely man, an absolute gentleman. And one of the great things I thought about him was that any time someone gave him a compliment, it was like the first time he'd ever been given a compliment.
As the tribute in the matchday programme says today, he was a man who wore his many talents lightly, which is just about the nicest thing anybody could say about someone. So we're ready to go. The Kingspan Stadium at full throttle. Ulster against the Scarlets in Pool 3 of the Champions Cup, and Ian Humphreys of Ulster launching it skywards. Taken in by Rory Pittman, playing at number 8 today for the Scarlets. We're looking to him for the big carries. No John Barclay in that back row for the Welshman. They will miss him. He is a leader in all kinds of different ways, not least defensively. James Davis has been doing a cracking job on the open side, Ben, but they will miss the understanding, the nous, the international savvy of Barclay.
Oh, of course they will. He's such a leader, particularly in defence. He's their defensive leader, and when you come here, you know that your game's got to be based around defence, because if you give Ulster a sniff early on, suddenly the crowd get behind the team. It's a really, really difficult place to come and win.
There is James Davis dropping on it. He's the brother of Jonathan Davis, who plays, of course, in the centres now for Claremont and Wales. This is Aled Davis. Taken in nicely, just about on that 10-metre line. Nick Williams with the gathering of the ball. This is Louis Ludik, South African, running into his own man. Luke Pearce seems happy to let play continue. Pienaar looking for it. He's had a long time out. And Pittman picks it up and feeds it on for Samson Lee. Davis for Priestland. Regan King, Liam Williams. Plenty of talent on show in the Scarlets back division. Priestland. Into the midfield they go, rumbling up the middle over the 10-metre line. Scott Williams, the skipper, to Pittman. He's been working hard on keeping his body position nice and low. Tends to go in a little bit upright, but that was a good drive, and the motion has been continued nicely.
You can automatically see the field, the areas of the field that Scarlets want to play it again. They want to be out wide. They'll use decoy runners, flatten the line and go behind them.
Good defensive work for the time being from Ulster, but Priestland is sniffing again. Liam Williams is very slippery. Will have to be kept on a tight leash tonight. He's been in scintillating form.
Advantage.
And there's the penalty coming their way.
We talked before the game, Ali, about Ulster's great backline, but there's some magnificent passers in that Scarlets backline. You look at Reece Priestland, you know, Scott playing in the centre with Regan King. These guys can get it out to the wide channels very handily.
I think the other thing as well, as Brian was saying, because the handling's so good, they can leave their passes late. And when you've got a drift defence, you know a team's going to play wide. Then if they just throw the ball across the field, it's so easy to defend. You can drift across, you can put them into touch. But because they leave it late, they almost tempt you in to step out of the line and make a tackle.
This is the balanced running of Liam Williams, played in all 4 of the internationals this November in Cardiff, and has been playing some blinding rugby, and this has been an ideal start for Wayne Pivac's men. And first blood to the Scarlets.
Just wonder whether a little bit of rustiness from Ruan Pienaar there. He was a little bit upright in the tackle. He's in the right place, makes the tackle, but then as he lands, he just can't get his body free. You see he's upright, maybe he's trying to hold the man up, but then he goes down. He's got to make an effort just to roll away. So difficult, because the referees, if you roll into the opposition scrum half, will penalise you anyway.
I'd be surprised if we see him giving away a penalty for not rolling away for the rest of the game.
Well, he injured his knee ligaments against New Zealand in the Rugby Championship way back in September. Ruan Pienaar, this is his first game for Ulster since the semi-final of the Pro 12 last season, as Aled Davis goes high once more.
Okay.
Taken in by Rob Evans, the loose head. Sneyman onwards through Priestland, Charles Down, and an opportunity here. Back goes Liam Williams, he's in trouble. Ulster pouring over the top. Priestland just not able to get that clearance away. And Ulster have another bite at it now. Humphreys to Ludick. Tackle from Jake Ball, who gets to his feet again, and then he's in the way of Pienaar. And was he looking for that penalty? If he was, he's got it.
He might be out for 3 or 4 months, but
if he rolled in his
knows a penalty when he sees one.
I know, but you run the risk rolling that way.
That's smart play from him. Maybe a whole not a huge amount going on, but just decided, referee, I'll have 3, please.
How well did Liam Williams do at the back, though? Put under real pressure. Bit of indecision, makes the late call to switch to his left boot, and then uses the post as a shield really well to get out of the danger zone.
Just making absolutely sure Ruan Pienaar, after such a long layoff, it is not Pienaar from the tee.
Yeah.
It's Ian Humphreys.
I'll speak now, mate.
Oh dear. It's very quiet. Six minutes gone. The Scarlets have managed to draw the sting from the Kingspan Stadium, and Rhys Priestland will be a relieved man. Still up on the scoreboard, and charged down with a block on his clearance kick. They weren't made to pay for it. Nicely by Tommy Bowe.
It's a tackle,
Scarlets! Who's had
Scarlets!
the week off last week, having been in Irish action, the Irish internationals, with
Just hold that for me.
that extra
There you
week
go,
of
you're
rest,
good.
which the Welsh internationals did not get. Tough one for Liam Williams, never really looked set for it.
Quiet, please. Not in my opinion. Knocked on first. Hey, hey.
Scrum time.
Knock on, then a knock by White. Scrum,
This is
Ulster.
a really interesting area for me, the scrum. So we see a knock on there and then a second one, which is why he immediately blew up. But I just think this is an area that Herbst will have been looking at and thinking, I've got an opportunity here. Evans is a little bit, it's the battle in the middle here. Evans can get
Let's just be
a little
prepared
bit
for a small
twisted.
weight for the stability,
I think he
okay?
probably wants to
He
scrummage
must
a
have
bit
stable
lower than
scrums
the rest of
when
his
they
pack, which means his outside arm, his left shoulder, tends to drop towards the ground. And that gives a bit of separation between him and the hooker. Herbst will think he's got an opportunity to get in between that. On the counter side, though, Herbst can get a bit long-legged, and the guy he's playing against is quite unbalanced. And if Herbst gets too long-legged, he could find himself on his stomach and giving away a penalty himself.
The knee is down, but it's secure enough for Pienaar. And Humphreys looking to find Darren Cave on the angle. Pienaar again. This is Robbie Dyack, who will offer a lot of aggression and physicality around the fringes. Picked up and driven on by Wilson.
Roll 7! Hand 7.
James Davis at the bottom there. Is it low?
Hey, listen. Hang on, I say it. Don't be daft like that. And listen, I'll deal with him, but don't come running in. All right? Cheers. Yeah, there you are. 7 hands. Shuckle. Go.
So James Davis penalised.
I think there's a few people taking advantage of Mr. Pearce's, it being only his second European game, thinking that they'll be able to do a bit of a refereeing job themselves, but he's stamping his authority nice and early and making it very clear with his decisions.
So Humphreys with the opportunity to wipe out the memory of that early miss. Not so.
See him tightening up, can't you? So much expectation from the home crowd, and that's a pretty simple shot. Just wonder whether his half-back partner might be called into the kicking duties a little bit earlier than he would have wanted. Pretty sure they weren't planning to play Pienaar for the whole game, which is probably why Humphreys was given the nod initially off the tee.
Paddy Jackson, of course, injured at the moment, along with Ian Henderson, Andrew Trimble, Jared Payne, all missing. Chris Henry too. Humphreys. Nice inside ball for Ludic.
That's what you'll get from Stuart Olding all game. A lovely, lovely ball player, and he likes having those trail runners inside him, just being able to drop them in and out.
Another inside ball. This time it's Gilroy scything through. Dangerous runner. Lovely step.
Number 5, no control of your body. Straight off your feet.
The referee explaining it very well.
Even if there's no
just
contest, you can't fly like
flew
that.
off the
Number
floor,
5.
someone getting back to their feet. But brilliant move from Ulster to create the opportunity, get in behind the Scarlets.
I can understand that's not a great picture from Van der Merwe, but at the same time, you know, referees get a bit pedantic on that and just let the attacking team play, particularly when they get in behind the defensive line. But
just holding people down
just
as you
that
go.
inside ball, they're trying to force the Scarlets defenders to step out of the line. It's almost a setup, particularly on the first one. Here's the offence as he just dives straight over the top. But they're almost trying to let the Scarlets think they've read the play. And then as the big hit comes in, they just drop the ball back inside.
Well, this is gratefully taken in by Roger Wilson, and the line-out ball from Emir Phillips not finding the target. Humphreys. And this pass and a really good, strong drive upfield from Darren Cave. Big hit coming in, though, from Tangithakibau. Humphreys under pressure. Oh, lovely little shot from Humphreys, and he's away. Past Jake Ball. Now there are chances. Inside from Rory Best. Cave is in there, needed to hang on to it. Just built so nicely.
Knock on.
Well, lovely bit of play, but it all came from the ball presentation under real pressure. Big tackle coming in from Tangithakibau onto it. But look at that ball presentation. If he hadn't done that, they wouldn't have got the ball back. And then Humphreys makes the decision. Just leaves his decision-making so long, Brian.
yeah, I think even if you watch Rory Best too, I think he probably felt as though Harry Robinson was going to come in and let his ribs know all about it, and a little offload inside to Darren Cave. But yeah, it was beautiful play, and that's what you get with Ian Humphreys. He is a silky footballer. He's been criticised in the past for maybe not loving his defensive side of his game as much, but he has some beautiful touches and great acceleration over that first 5 or 10 metres. And then when the chance came, he got rid of it at the right time.
Whoa, hang on. Trevor. Wait, yeah, time is off a second. Trevor, I just want to look at that again.
Was worthy of, dare I say it, worthy of Jack Kyle. Pace off the mark, that's what he was known for, wasn't it? At out half.
The ghost.
The ghost.
Red 7, was it? Just show me it again, please, Trev, to make sure we got the right number.
Have a little look here for a late tackle.
Just Captain Scarlets, please.
For the number, whether it was Jake Ball.
Just give me a sec, please.
Potentially one of those where he's seen it,
Thanks,
seen the replay on the big screen. Decided he wants another look here. Just at the bottom, you can see Humphreys on the floor here. He gives the ball. Whether it's late or not, there's no arms in it. He could be in real trouble here.
It's number 7 with the black scrum hat
Oh,
here.
there is. He does wrap that arm slightly, doesn't he? And probably pulls out the tackle. It looks worse in slow motion.
Cheers, mate.
They always do.
Listen, you can't hit players like that with no arms and dangerous.
If he can find the card, it's going to be yellow for James Davis. Well, the Ulster fans are happy about it. Davis will spend 10 minutes on the sidelines.
It's one of those situations where he's probably gone in to wrap his arm around, make a decent tackle, but the ball's gone. And he's thought, well, I can't go fully through with the tackle or I'll get done for the late hit. It's the right decision, but it's one of those things in a player's mind where you just make the wrong decision.
Just checking we're in the right place.
See that right arm was up across Humphreys' chest.
Here, thanks,
and
mate.
had they landed on the floor together, it might have looked all right.
towards the corner they go, at least inside the 22. And a decent attacking position.
Scarlets, step, please.
And you wonder as well whether going through his mind was what Humphreys had done at the start of the move to create it, the show and go. He wasn't going to fall for a dummy.
Down to it with line-out ball. What a quick healer he must be. Broke his arm at the end of September. Back fit and ready for European action. This is looking good then.
Oh, they're in great position until it got pulled over at the front. They had all straight backs, ball safe at the back. It's going to come out to the backs now.
Humphreys, Ludic, good defensive work. But Humphreys is nicely on the loop. Another little show. Gilroy.
Ball is here.
Friesland's done well. Snaffled the ball.
Leave him, no
I have
feet,
to say,
no
Ali,
feet.
the line speed of the Scarlets has been excellent. They've made some excellent reads thus far.
Use
it must
it.
be something that they're really focused on
Stay
during
on,
the
go
week.
on.
Aled Davis under pressure gets it away. Man of the match against Leicester in the second round of European action.
Well, we've seen in that movement the plus side of Ian Humphreys, his pace, his ability to get away from a defender, but we also saw what he's not so good at, clearing out the rucks. Really good pace to get out, but then he needs to follow this in and be the man clearing out the threat.
Hold on, lads, a bit too
He's
slow
too
for me.
slow
It's getting time
there.
to
He
react to
comes in
numbers,
high,
please.
doesn't really get involved.
Tim, get that man at the front, 2 and
And
2.
the turnover's already
He
made.
is. Cheers. 2 metres, please.
Ulster looking for some points to go with all their pressure at the moment. Olding, again the inside ball. Pina. Humphreys attacking the line nicely, space now for Bow. Liam Williams, the inside ball is a piece to Darren Cave. Try number 1. Darren Cave, the scorer. Tommy Bow, the creator.
Beautiful, beautiful skill from Tommy Bow. And I'm sure in replay, I hope that pass went backwards, but it was lovely soft touch. Great cut-out pass initially to get Bow into space and to have that awareness to float the ball over the defender's head. This guy, Darren Cave, people wrote him off a couple of years ago, and he's come back with aplomb. He's playing very well for Ulster now that Jared Payne's out injured. A couple of tries 2 weeks ago against Ospreys, and now another one tonight.
Seems to have been a tactic of the Scarlets tonight to get out of the line, try and make those big hits. And I just think Tanguy Thakenbauer here needed to hold off. He flies up, gets lost in no man's land, and then it's just about picking the players off, which Bow does fantastically well, floating the ball over 2 flailing defenders.
It was as if, you're right, it's as if he was caught in 2 minds. Do I play up hard? And when you don't commit to the intercept and get into the passing channel, you get caught in no man's land.
So the opening try of the night to Darren Cave. It remains Ian Humphreys on kicking duty. There we go. That's more like it. And suddenly a different complexion on the scoreboard. Ulster leading by 7 points to 3. And the Scarlets, remember, still with James Davis in the bin.
Yeah, 2 lovely passes. Firstly from Humphreys to cut out Tanguy Thakenbauer, and then the weight of that ball. He almost threw it initially and realised the 2 defenders were there. He just took a little bit of the weight off, a bit of float on it. Exactly perfect for the man to run onto.
Friesland very, very high, taken by Ludic on the 22.
Taken
Try
in.
on debut
Hold there,
Ludic
7.
against the Scarlets.
Good.
Back in September, it was a crazy match when they met the first round of the Pro 12, 32 points all, an 8-try thriller.
Just hold there, keep coming, right? Keep coming. Yep.
Humphreys, Pina, Ludic, straight.
Tackle, Scarlets!
Humphreys again to Tommy Bow. Taken straight up the middle and kept alive. That was Nick Williams with the offload. One of the big carriers for Ulster. Humphreys. Gilroy. Space again for Cave. Can't hold on to it. Olding. Lovely little step from Olding.
Carnage.
Turnover ball. Tanguy Thakenbauer.
Advantage over. Just hold there, 9.
Friesland.
Thanks.
Nice touch.
There's such good feet all over the field from both sides, but Ulster in particular. So many people that can beat the first defender, and that just alters your defensive line as someone has to step in to cover, creates opportunity. Holding amongst the best, you just can't get the offload away. Really good
Just hold
tackle
him there
coming in late there from Snyman.
Potential
He'd
HIA
have enjoyed
here.
that step though, Brian.
Time's off,
Yeah,
please.
a very educated left boot. I wonder if it's as powerful off the right, whether the Scarlets have done their homework. But yeah, he's another really classy footballer. That 10-12 combination of guys that are able to play and see
Okay,
the pick the pass
HIA, right?
and see the play unfold. It's a lovely combination to have. Yeah, so
Okay,
if we could
lads,
just
we're
have a
gonna
quick
play.
look at the try.
How
What I
many are
like
coming in,
is
Ulster?
the decoy
How
runner
many?
there. Just Scott
It'll be a 5-man,
Scott Williams
Scarlets.
has a little bite on that man,
Time
and he
on.
can't get out to Humphreys, and that kind of leaves the defenders in no man's land.
Stay in 15.
Ball out to
Cheers.
Tommy Bowe and back into Darren Cave. It's a beautifully manufactured try, and that's the decoy runners.
Tui again with line out ball. The drizzle sweeping into the Kingspan Stadium now. Pienaar. Good tempo to Ulster at the moment. Humphreys. This is Aaron Shingler underneath it. Good hit from Ludick. Keeps it alive. Liam Williams. Alan Davis.
Hold there, 1.
Gilroy. Dyak.
Tackle.
Cave. Straight through the middle. Darren Cave needs a bit of help. It arrives in the form of that man, Pienaar. Absolutely super. Ruan Pienaar, right where he needed to be, timing the late run, scoring the second try.
I was just thinking how much more comfortable Ulster had looked since they got those points, and Humphreys had got his kick over. They're really starting to play with a bit of confidence now. Players happy just to take their opposite number on one-on-one, no more so than Cave. Just the straighten back up on the arc. Quick ball off the floor, the momentum's against them. Scott Williams goes for the rip out in the tackle, and Pienaar, he's obviously been working in the weights room during his injury layoff because he holds on. Beautiful little offload. You see there, he thinks he's got underneath the ball. I'm sure the Scarlets will think it's a soft try. Ulster will think they worked pretty hard for it.
For a guy that's been out for 3 or 4 months again, you know, he's still the smarts to run that support line. You know, you don't lose that. Probably thought there was nothing in it, just stayed hard on the inside. Excellent.
Well, Ian Humphreys is not missing those sort of kicks now because the confidence levels are raised. Darren Cave leaving scorch marks across the Ravenhill ground, and Pienaar.
What I loved about that Cave break was his awareness of where everyone was, where the defenders were, how he had to shape his body to get out of that initial tackle. But secondly, the little glance he made before he made contact, he was looking where all the support was from, weighing up what offloads would be on off the floor.
Here's Nick Williams. And there's what he can do. Destructive runner in the loose.
Cheers, thanks, 1. Sorry, 2. Hold there. Yeah.
Friesland.
Advantage, high
Trying to get
tackle.
Pittman in the game. That was high, though, from
Just high.
Roger Wilson. So a little bit of breathing space for the Scarlets, who've been under the pump with James Davis off the field.
Yeah, they need
How
it,
long
don't
have they
they?
been, lads, please?
It's an opportunity to go towards the touchline.
I'll
Try and
find
get
out,
it
yeah, you
towards
can
the
touch me.
22. Maybe give the forwards
Yeah,
a
I'll
little
find out the
rumble,
liner.
keep the ball in,
How long
wind
have
the
they been,
clock
please, lads?
down, and just try and stay down on Ulster's 22 for a bit longer. But is it going to make touch?
He's missed it. And Humphreys returns the favour. Davis juggling with it. Friesland again. Ludick. Big hit coming in from Jake Ball this time. Nice quick ruck ball though for Ulster to work with. Dan Tui bumps off the attentions of Scott Williams, which takes a bit of doing.
From someone that's been on the receiving end of Scott Williams' hits, that is some doing.
Yeah, remember that one. Eye-watering. Priestland.
Glad I'm here to tell the tale.
We all are. This is Priestland. Nice little run. He's carved out nice space too. Emir Phillips, that had to go to hand. Kept alive though. Samson Lee, the man who's been asked to step into the giant shoes of Adam Jones at international level. And turnover ball in the form of a penalty.
That's one of his real strengths, Rory Best. When you get him in that poach position, he takes an awful lot of moving. And if you don't have close key support and he's in around the tackle area, he's going to sniff that all day.
Just so frustrating for the Scarlets, though, when Priestland makes such a good decision. So often when you're under the pump in your own 22, the easy thing is just trying to relieve the pressure, get the ball off the field. But he goes, makes the decision to go, creates the opportunity, and then just a poor bit of handling.
So let's have a quick word with Johnny Bell, part of the Ulster coaching setup. Johnny, thanks for sparing us your time. Your thoughts on the opening 20 minutes or so? You'll have been anxious, no doubt, to see those kicks sail wide, but you've come back really strong.
Yeah, look, the guys are playing pretty well. It's,
he's gone at the front.
We're controlling territory at the moment, but you know, it's still very early, and the Scarlets are a team that can cut you open from anywhere on the pitch, so we must make sure we continue our defensive pressure. We play in the right areas of the park and put a lot of the pressure onto them.
Thanks, Johnny. I think we better leave it there. You're in the danger zone again. And the line-out's gone begging. This time James Davis is swooping on it, back on the field now.
Use it. Advantage over.
And away into touch from Aled Davis. Great try against the Tigers. Aled Davis, where he robbed Ben Youngs of the ball and set off upfield. Cluster of really good nines in the Scarlets, with Gareth Davis injured, Rodri Williams on the bench today as well.
Just see that Nick Williams has dropped out. They put Ruan Pienaar at the front, which would have given them an opportunity to get Williams running off the back of Pienaar in towards Rhys Priestland and his defensive channel.
The drive on from Franco van der Merwe, the South African, signed from the Golden Lions this summer, making up for the absence of Johan Muller. Davis.
Just come back, 8-3.
Priestland, really good turnover possession from the Scarlets, but Ludic has it now. Beautifully judged. Taken quickly by Liam Williams, who is not short of adventure. Bow. Pienaar. Humphreys. To watch carefully because Snyman was homing in on him. Gilroy, this is just his sort of situation. Broken field, an opportunity seemingly opening up. Tui finding Bow, dragged down by Pittman. Taken on by Dan Tui. Real high quality continuity from Ulster. Olding.
Now lost course.
What I like about Ulster, that as we see Scarlets again, they've been so impressive around the breakdown with their turnover ability.
Quality counter-rucking. That's a nasty one from Tommy Bow. That was forwards inside the 22 in a position of great peril. We won't want to be seeing that back again.
What I was saying about Ulster is the footwork is making the Scarlets probably commit more numbers to the breakdown than they want to. They like to have 14 players on their feet in a red wall defensively. As we see, that's we're not one for the show reel. But on the other hand, Scarlets, because they're putting more numbers in than they usually do at the breakdown, counter-rucking's good. We've seen players turning over, latching onto the ball in the jackal position. And they're having a lot of success in that area. Ulster might need to readdress and put more numbers in to secure their own ball.
I think that what Scarlets are doing extremely well is they're identifying when Ulster are light. And I don't know whether they've got
I know they've only had the
call
one.
to identify it,
Sure
but they
feet are
seem to all
underneath
be
you, okay,
piling
not
in
too far back.
numbers.
I'll make
So
sure
when
he's
one
high
person
enough.
identifies it, everyone in the vicinity seems to be running in, weighing in right after them.
Oh, cheers. Cheers.
Just if we can have a quick look at the second try, what I really like is the simplicity of Darren Cave's line. A real in to out. He doesn't just run a straight line at the inside defender, and he slips off him and gets the offload to a lovely offload to Ruan Pienaar, who shows the strength that none of us knew he possessed, and in he went.
Just wait for my tap, right? It's going to be a little while.
He's just a really,
Trust me, I won't put it
really
in without
clever
it.
rugby player, isn't he, Pienaar? Pops up in all the right places at all the right times and very rarely makes poor decisions. Darren Cave has started this game so well too, but it's the Scarlets who are in the attacking position here. Priestland lined up to the left alongside Williams and King and Tangathakabau. To the right, Liam Williams and Harry Robinson.
Hang on, just two things. Ulster,
just looking at
stop,
that setup, Ali, I have to imagine that they're going to come to Priestland with Ulster putting three over on their left-hand side.
I think we'll be all right
probably
then,
weighs up the option that they should go to Priestland and drop someone under, maybe at Pienaar, test him out, test that strength that we hadn't seen before.
Just wonder, Priestland there definitely had a word with Liam Williams when he saw that Ulster had lined up with three on either side. Maybe changed the call. Maybe they weren't expecting them to be defended that way.
Yeah, a lot of teams will defend with one guy in the pocket in behind the scrum, but Ulster have sent three over there, so I'd be surprised if they don't come to Priestland here.
Secure, and away goes Pittman. Aled Davis, and that's lost.
Ulster.
Chance of a counter.
I don't understand that, Ali. They played right into their hands, playing an 8-9. They were perfectly numbered. 8-9 meant that they were running into the three defenders.
Harry Robinson. Forward down by Callum Black. Pittman. Man who's been around the block a little bit through the Ospreys Academy and then Glasgow, Rotherham, Wasps, London Welsh. He's been all over the place. Jake Ball, driven back hard by Nick Williams.
Lost. No, five step.
Pittman again.
Advantage 5 offside.
Darren Cave comes firing
no
through.
step from 5 white.
And that's Franco van der Merwe who's been singled out.
I know, but I can't keep telling you 2 or 3 times, all right? If I ask, you got a step, please. 5 offside. Post goal.
Nothing worse too that you take a little bit of a stamping for your team and still give away a penalty. It's like, come on, I'm meant to be rewarded for that.
Just look at this clear out. This is very similar to the one that gets penalised before, but look how he gets back to his feet. Just a bit of conning to the referee, and sometimes what you're hitting in front of you changes, and you can't help but go off your feet. But just the fact that he put his hands down, got his feet underneath him, looked a lot better than the one before that was penalised for Ulster.
Going back to showing a positive picture to the referee. That's all they want to see. They want to see that positivity.
And Rhys Priestland keeping the Scarlets in touch. He's had a rough old time of it at international level. Strange reception at the Millennium Stadium, booed onto the pitch. He's copped a lot of abuse on social media.
Well, you're right.
And he's a confidence player. Everybody recognises that.
Hang on there. Sorry, Ten. Just give me a sec. You got a doctor or a physio?
A happy time of it recently. He's such a talented footballer, Brian. I'm thinking particularly of the Rugby World Cup. He was superb.
I was just going to say, Ali, people have a very short memory. He had a big hand in getting to them to a semi-final of the World Cup, and probably should have found themselves into a final if the circumstances were slightly different. If they hadn't lost Sam Warburton as early in that semi-final as they did.
Time's off for a sec.
Repair work required. Stuart Holden, just 21. big talent. Lots and lots of rugby to come, of course, across BT Sport this weekend. Harlequins against Leinster is our offering from 2:30 tomorrow. The top two in Pool 2 from the Stoop, and Leicester Tigers against Toulon. 5:15 will be there at Welford Road as they go head-to-head on BT Sport 2. The rain just seems to have intensified a little bit. Here's Pittman. Davis.
Touched in flight, Tim. Red ball, touched in flight.
A white
touched
hand,
by
so
an
that's
Ulster
going to be
hand, red ball.
Scarlets line out.
Worked out very nicely.
Touched
The
in
Scarlets
flight.
have done a really good job of wrestling the momentum back, just taking the sting out of Ulster,
Line's
the home
yours, Ulster.
side. We know how dangerous they are here. Just quieten the crowd down again. They'll be happy that
Stay
they
tuned
just
for me,
need
hooker.
to score next,
To stay in 15
just
as
to
well.
hammer home that psychological advantage.
Aaron Shingler leaping highest. He's another who perhaps could and should have had maybe one or two more opportunities with Wales, but Lydiard, of course, the man in possession on the blind side. Olding's missed it. Tanguy Thakabau has it. And Luke Pearce is calling them back.
Hey, it's not a charge down. The first is a charge down, then he knocks it on. We're going to get control.
Who was it?
The far side.
Well,
Yeah, the first is
pretty
a
good
charge
description.
down.
Second
by
time
5
fingertips
white.
have gone to it. I think it actually hits him in the face, does it?
Knock on. I thought it was your hand. Hey, listen.
So it was offside to start with.
No, he's in the ball. No.
Who's ball? Like one.
White ball.
Hey, come on, fuck off. Come on, let's have a go. Let's go, let's fix it.
We said that, didn't we?
So
Chat about
Ulster
it.
Get him on his feet.
with the scrummage.
Handsome boy.
Just good competition.
I think Alan Davis would
White 9, just wait
want to
for me
be
again,
a little
please.
bit careful. There's two kicks. One's been partially, one that's gotten a little nick. Maybe Ulster are sniffing blood when you know,
Crutch!
when it gets to rough time and he's relieving pressure. They really feel they can go after and maybe get a score out of one.
Looks like he's really looking for distance, isn't he, with the low trajectory, where he might be advised to go a touch higher and a bit safer.
He needs a bit of help from guys in front of him as well, making sure that no white shirts get through to him.
A lot of pressure coming on there from the Scarlets, and Pienaar does well to get it away. Humphrey's looking for Tommy Bowe. And Liam Williams has got a hand to that, I think, before it went into touch. It's going to be an Ulster ball. When you have Tommy Bowe on your side, it's a useful ploy, the crossfield kick.
Good scrum.
Top scorer in Pro 12 history.
Are you in? Yeah.
Gaelic football background as well, played for Monaghan minor team, under 18. So if you put the ball up in the air, he's well capable of catching it above his head.
Must be a great team to play for if you're a winger, because they use their wingers so much, don't they? They use them all over the field. Half the time they're not even on their wings. Popping up in midfield, and then the crossfield kicks as well. It's so involved in the game.
Great try against the Tigers, wasn't it, in the opening round for Tommy Bowe. Just signed a new 3-year deal here with Ulster, having spent 4 seasons with the Ospreys, of course. This is Dyack. Dan Tui, tackled by Emir Phillips. Callum Black inside the 22. Williams held up in the tackle by Sneijman. He's done well to turn.
Good luck, thanks.
Humphreys, Gilroy, and that pirouette is something of a trademark as the motion is continued by Rory Best in rather more earthy fashion. Pienaar, inside ball for Tommy Bowe. Black driven back in the tackle. And again, Scarlets piling in over the top, and the ruck ball is theirs. Priestland looks for the options. Tanguy Thakabau herring up on the outside. Gilroy did well.
Hold down, Greg. 5, step.
Move it, Dom.
Humphreys. It's going to be held up in the breeze, and Ludic, unopposed, takes it well. Liam Williams, a suggestion of a lift. The crowd didn't like it. The advantage is with Ulster. And Gilroy's after it, but they are going to come back halfway.
Time is off. Hang on.
And Ludic's still down as a result of that challenge.
By the letter of the law, sorry Ben, by the letter of the law,
tell you what I've got, mate.
it's not smart.
I've got, I think,
Again,
some sort of tip by 15
Keep
Scarlets.
talking about the
Correct.
horizontal.
I just want to see where he lands on the screen.
We'll listen to the referee. But
Trevor.
It all happens so low,
Can
doesn't
you
it?
just
I think
replay
that's
the
why
tackle
Liam
by
Williams
15
is
red
shocked
here,
that the
please?
referee wants to have a look at it.
Yeah,
He doesn't actually get him very high
Second
in
action,
order to
actions
tip
I'm
him
more
up.
concerned about.
So he's nice and low. He's almost falling to the floor, and he holds on to the legs. Falling to the floor, just lifts those legs.
anytime a referee sees legs lifted, they don't like it. It's not a smart play, but I don't think there's any.
He lands on his front on the ball.
If you actually see his shoulders,
so for me, it's a yellow
already.
card. Are you seeing anything different?
It's already made contact. I don't know if I agree with the referee on that one, but
sorry, just give me
they're certainly looking after
fine.
player
I'm still
safety
thinking
these
yellow
days.
Card, Trev.
But it's on the shoulder, as
Thank
you
you.
said.
15, please, full back. Yeah.
Similar to one that
So Liam Williams trots over.
Just let me do it. It's last season. Where's Scott, man? Scott! Scott! I know, but it's the secondary actions. He's gone above horizontal, then he's on his side on his shoulder. So that's a yellow card.
It's going to be yellow.
I got it.
Liam Williams into the bin, the second Scarlet of the half. He was sent off against Ulster for 2 yellow cards in the opening round of the Pro 12, so
just on the
history
halfway
repeating itself rather, and the Scarlets in this situation can ill afford to be playing with 14 men.
No, they certainly can't, and I think you can judge an awful lot by the players' reactions, and he didn't seem overly shocked that he saw a yellow card. And sometimes when players walk up to referees, you're wondering what colour card it's going to be.
And you always used to walk away, and if there was a big screen, you'd look at it and you go, "Oh,
thank you, Scotty.
God, that looked bad, didn't it?"
So the discipline costing Wayne Pivac's side.
I just think now that players now, there's no point lifting the legs because you just put things happen. Someone bangs into you from behind, you lose control of the player. You just can't afford to do it anymore. It's almost like competing in the air unless you're sure you're going to get up at the same height as the fullback. You just can't do it anymore.
We saw it in the Saracens-Munster game. The Gill lifted someone, but you don't know what your own player is doing as well in those circumstances. Maybe that was a bit more of a severe case, but foolish nonetheless.
Over the top from Rory Best. That was the line out that needed to find the mark, and James Davis is away, pumping those legs and driving up towards the 10-metre line. Big overlap here. Priestland feeding it on through Jake Ball and Sneyman. Locks combining, and now driven on through Rob Evans, who's enjoying the open spaces. Samson Lee. Good to see the backs and the forwards combining like that, making some 60 metres upfield.
Side entry, 7 red.
Really great read there from Roger Wilson. He saw that there was a single ball carrier who was only one option, and he picked him out of the line fantastically.
Pienaar pins them back where they were.
That's the tempo that Pienaar's put on it. Didn't hang around, didn't wait for the wingers to get back into position, just banged it down. Now he lets his forwards walk onto the ball, putting pressure on the defensive team to make the decisions early.
I think that's called keeping the carrot in front of the donkeys. Right. I won't be saying that to their face, clearly. I'll let you do that.
I'll tell them for you.
Yeah.
So you talk about the tempo. Well, with 3 minutes left of this half, Ulster are chasing another score while the Scarlets are down a man. The tap back for Pienaar and an infringement. That's 2 line-outs that Ulster have been unable to profit from in really dangerous positions.
It goes back to that, what Brian was saying about painting a positive picture for the referee. He palms that with his outside hand. The referees, it just makes it so easy for the referee to say that's not straight. Even if it's going down the wrong side, try and get 2 hands on it.
I'll take that as my 2 as well, Scotty. Are we right to go, lads?
Doesn't even put his inside hand up.
9.
You think if he had?
9.
It might not have done, but you never know. You just want to try and make it look as good as possible for the referees.
Seconds, please. Roach, yeah. Come on.
Just wait for me again, red 9, okay?
Good, Frank.
Cards
Crunch!
have not helped the Welsh region. Of course, they had a couple of yellow cards in that opening round against Toulon. Something that Wayne Puback has been trying to drive through, but we had one against the head, and then the free kick has been awarded to the Scarlets.
You've hooked the ball. Only front row can hook the ball, not the flanker. 7 is hooking the ball. No,
there's the
only front
explanation.
I think it just gets caught, doesn't it, on Evans's knee as it goes in.
Free kick only.
Slight movement of the knee, and then it's who drags it back.
You learn something new every day. So the front row are the only ones that can hook it back.
Until it's gone through behind their feet, yeah.
Tommy Bowe, that's
Offside,
forwards. Unsure really as to whether he was going to be taking that on the full himself or tipping it back to one of his counterparts. Jake Ball is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, I got him. Cheers. Yeah, post goal.
And he was one who had to go through the various different concussion protocols after his activities in the Welsh shirt.
I know it looks harsh, but white 8 is in front of the knock-on.
Plants that foot, doesn't it? And the knee just shifts slightly.
His chest, I know, but it affected their quality of ball, so he's offside. Is he in your way?
He's right, but does he play the ball?
Yeah, I can take time off if you like. Yeah, of course I can. Time off, please, Scotty. The injured man's in the way of the kicker.
Doesn't seem to have a heavyweight collision of any kind. We have seen players injure themselves without any assistance at all. I'm thinking particularly of the way Schalk Brits did his knee ligaments at Allianz Park with the elaborate sidestep.
Maybe just a little bit of a hyperextension of his medial ligaments.
Can you just bump him out of the way just for 2 seconds?
It looks as though there's a little
Robbie
bite.
Diak there, look at that foot come through, drag it back through between his props' feet. Good spot from the official on this touchline.
That's time as well, Scotty, is it? Thank you.
That one sails wide. Scarlets would have been quite happy to go to the break. Only 14 points to 9 down, but as it is, it's 14-6. Ulster have 2 of the 4 tries that they crave. Remember, they are desperately after a bonus point tonight if they can possibly secure it. Cave with the first, Pienaar with the second, and a couple of penalties from Rhys Priestland to go with the 2 yellow cards for James Davis and for Liam Williams. An intriguing first half, 14 points to 6. And here's Chris Hollins.
I'm joined by Darren. Darren Cave, you've been right in the middle of this action. Nervous start, nervous end to this half. How do you assess it?
It's been very stop-start. I suppose we're happy enough to have 2 scores. It's quite hard to play out there. I think the Scarlets will be pretty disappointed with their discipline. But, you know, we're in front and that's what matters.
Fairly open game despite these conditions.
Yeah, there's been a bit of kicking, but that's tiring for the centres. You know, the heart rate's been up there, been struggling a bit. But, yeah, hopefully more of the same in the second half. Forwards are giving us a good platform. Hopefully we can get the next score and kick on.
Darren, thanks very much for joining us.
Cheers.
So a try there from Darren Cave, a second from Ruan Pienaar leaves Ulster in the box seat. 14-6 they lead. They're on their way to victory, possibly halfway to that bonus point that they need for 4 tries. Everything going Ulster's way. Analysis with Sean Edwards after the break. Well, there's a buzz around the Kingspan Stadium, and the reason is those boys in the Ulster changing room are doing everything they possibly can to climb a big old mountain if they're going to get through to the knockout stages, but they're heading in the right direction. 14-6 they lead the Scarlets at the moment. 2 tries to the good at the moment, on their way, hopefully for them, to that bonus point they desperately need. Well, round 3, of course, there's still a lot of life in that, but round 4 comes at you starting next Friday night. Bath Rugby against Montpellier, all the teams playing tonight. It's a quick turnaround, and they reverse those fixtures next weekend. There is a list of all those matches we will be bringing you, but plenty to talk about, Sean Edwards. from that first half. And Ulster have got control of the game, but to start with, it looked as though maybe it was going to be a tricky night for them. A man who's been dominant so far, Ian Humphreys, started a little bit shakily.
Yes, it did. I mean, if Humphreys had kicked his goals and if the line-out had functioned, I think you could be looking at a 25-30 point, score for the Ulster team. They're very, very creative when they've got the ball in hand. What they're trying to do is target the tight five of the Scarlets. They've got Cave coming back on cuts, using his late footwork on the big Scarlets forwards, and it's been very productive for them with the 2 tries.
Well, let's have a look at Ian Humphreys, because as we say, he didn't have the greatest of starts. You just started to think maybe it wasn't going to be his night off the peg. He was struggling a little bit, but sure, very, very quickly he found his stride.
Yes, I mean, his kicking was obviously askew, but the rest of his play was absolutely outstanding. As we spoke about before the game, him and Ruan Pienaar have been absolutely brilliant. They've got a strong wind behind them, and they've certainly used it well. But once they've got that field position, they've been very, very creative from set play. I mean, on the Scarlets, they've got to sort the discipline out. It's as simple as that. To get 2 people sin binned in 40 minutes is just ridiculous, and they were both avoidable. It's not as if they were technical offences. They were both avoidable sin bins.
And when we were analysing the game, or looking forward to the game, Brian O'Driscoll was talking about the stars, the style, the talent they've got in this Ulster backline, and we've seen that to good effect tonight.
We definitely have, and Cave in particular has been outstanding. They've all got very, very good late footwork. This is a lovely pass to Tommy Bohr, a great support line. There's a bit of a question, was it forward, but I don't think it was. And a great inside support line, and that was the second try. Was it momentum rule? I don't know, but it was a lovely bit of skill from Tommy Bohr to put that ball over the top, and an excellent support line. And this back line they've been on fire when they've got that field position. The problem they've had is the line out. If they've had the line out, they could have maybe already had the bonus point by now.
I'm sure that's something they're talking about in the dressing rooms, but Darren Cave has been instrumental in all that has been good so far for Ulster. And the second try, there he was, prominent role.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, targeting the Scarlets tight five on cutbacks, and we were pretty disappointed with that defence, but there's that bloke Ruan Pienaar again.
So you feel now that Ulster they'll sense that bonus point is within their grasp, but they've got to maintain composure.
Yes, and they have to sort the line out because, in the last 20 minutes of the first half, they couldn't get any play to come, deep down in the Scarlets, because they couldn't win a line out. It was as simple as that. They did have a strong win behind, and that win will now be behind the Scarlets. I can't believe that Scarlets could actually still in this game, because they have been dominated in a lot of facets of the game, but they have, with the win behind, maybe they get an early score. Who knows? They could be on a comeback trail, but as I said, if Ulster can sort their line out, you're looking at a dominant performance.
John, great stuff, plenty to talk about, but the second half looms. Ulster in the box seat, 14-6 they lead. They've got their 2 tries. Can they get 2 more? We'll find out in just a few seconds. Well, nothing could dampen the atmosphere for the Ulster folk here at the Kingspan Stadium. Their men lead Scarlets 14-6. We'll be looking at all the action from this game and all the action from round 3 of the European Champions Cup in rugby tonight on Monday night from 8 o'clock, where our guest will be Nick Evans. He'll come face-to-face with Brian O'Driscoll. Quins against Leinster. It could get lively, but the second half is ready to rumble. Time to return to our commentary team. Here's Al Eakin.
Thanks, Martin. So it's nicely poised, isn't it? 14 points to 6. Ulster leading, 2 tries. They need 4 for the bonus point. Scarlets by no means out of it, despite those 2 men in the bin in the opening spell. And of course, the first 5 minutes of the second half, they will be with 14 men. Liam Williams remaining in the sin bin.
Trev.
Win now,
Scotty,
behind the Welsh region, behind Reece Priestland.
Time on, please.
And the drizzle drifting in on the breeze as well as Priestland restarts. Good opening drive from the pack as Humphreys whips it wide. Vest the link man. Big strong drive up the field as McCluskey
taken in
onto the field.
Disadvantage White. Knock on off 7 in the tackle.
I just think that
just off your hand in the tackle went forward.
A little indication of how this second half might pan out. We know that Ulster need the points. They're going to chase down that bonus point. Just had a little look at playing from their own 22 before Humphreys was caught as he looked to clear the lines. I think, as you said, the wind behind Scarlets now, they might look to take advantage of Ulster's attacking intent, pin them into the corners and really put pressure from this 22.
Inside.
There's the evidence.
No problems.
Just talking before the game, that man Stuart McCluskey, he's one of 5 centres that are very, very talented, and he hasn't found himself in starting teams with European rugby before, so a great opportunity for him here.
Stuart Olding off the field at the moment. Stuart Olding no longer part of the equation for the time being. And that's been spilt in contact, and away come the Scarlets.
Knock on by White, then 10's offside, so no advantage. First was a knock on, then 10's offside, so there's no advantage.
He's been good. The referee's been very good. He's been.
But I need one with a strong. You won.
Probably the one consistent
strong back, please.
In the 45 minutes that we've had, 42 minutes we've had. But he,
Thanks.
You know, a lot of players like referees that assert themselves and
just keep those feet up.
Make sure that there's no grey area. Players like black and white, and he's certainly producing that today.
But to do it in a tone that makes you feel that they're not being a school teacher.
It's not condescending.
Yeah.
It's delivered well, and he stopped people when they needed to be stopped, and it's been pleasant to them. I think they'll be suitably impressed with him.
So the Olding replacement, by the way, is permanent. He's failed his head injury assessment, so McCluskey's on for good. Scrambled scrum.
Advantage Ulster.
And away come Ulster with turnover ball. Pienaar probably wanted a little bit more distance on that, but it is at least contestable.
That one was off his feet. This is a knock-on scrum. Hey?
Well, Luke Pearce knows what's going on.
It was off his feet down here.
Even if the players
came
aren't
forward
quite sure.
And the knocked it on here.
Messy start to the second half.
They're 5's offside, tackling.
I didn't think of that one. I'll look for you.
Yeah. Just a gentle word from Rory Best.
Come on, Robbie, on. Confuse me. Dominant again, Robbie.
So there's McCluskey, 22-year-old rising star, player of the season in the academy last season.
Straight scrummaging.
A different kind of 12, really, Brian, be fair to say, from Olding.
Yeah, a guy that's going to give you a gain line, very strong ball carrier, probably doesn't have quite the same silky skills that Olding has, but nonetheless he's very, very effective, and you have to play to the strengths of your player, so I envisage cracking him up and then maybe using the backs off second phase.
He was very effective last week against Munster, a match they lost by just a single point at Thomond Park, as Rory Pittman picks up, but under pressure.
We saw that Ulster having a little dabble at the Scarlets pack in the scrum, and then once they've done the initial shunt, they then wheel them away from the side that the Scarlets want to attack, putting the Ulster back row in pole position.
Here's Pittman.
Entry 6.
Luke Pearce doesn't like
6 entry.
That breakdown work from Aaron Shingler this time.
Entry 6.
Has to go around Robbie Diak, which means that he's never got the angle to get head on. Really good jackling at the ball.
So Liam Williams waits, and Rory Best will get another go at it. The line-out has not been functioning to plan.
If it happens again, it's going to be a free kick, okay? Sorry, mate. Okay, send him on, mate, yeah.
Best in his second spell as captain of the club.
Okay, let's
50th
go.
appearance in Europe last week for the Ulster hooker. Liam Williams now back on.
opportunity for Ulster to stick their 2 big ball carrying back rowers into midfield.
And it's clean through Dyak. McCloskey. Oh, very nearly got the offload away, and racing through was Nick Williams, but instead it's Liam Williams. Nice sleight of hand, Harry Robinson. Priestland. Shingler. Assisted by Samson Lee, who drives him over the halfway line. Priestland goes crossfield, a lot of space out there. Scott Williams picks up.
That was lovely vision from him. Darren Cave played up high in the defensive line and saw it late, but very, very effectively done.
Priestland looking to bisect the space between Gilroy and Tommy Bowe. Liam Williams loves a counter-attack. Good tackle made by Craig Gilroy. Priestland going to keep the defences honest. Pittman taking the direct route. Pienaar sucked into the ruck. And then Phillips. Pittman. Scarlets just building quietly here. Jake Ball's lost it. And here's Pienaar again on the counter. Launching it wide. Darren Cave, who's been so outstanding so far tonight. A couple of Ulstermen down to the right-hand side of your picture.
Well,
as
no one home here.
Priestland tucks it in behind them. Humphreys is back there. Little Show gets some space away from Harry Robinson. Still the 2 injured Ulster players remain on the floor. Priestland.
It's a bit of a freak accident for Ulster, the 2 injured players.
Yeah, we got 1 down each.
I think Willem Herbst was down with a groin injury, rolling around on the floor. And I'm not sure who the other player is, but he almost tripped over him in the contact. And now they're having a look at his head.
No, it wasn't the way on that one.
Might have been a clash of heads. Oh, you can see he clashes heads with Nick Williams, not the head you want to clash with.
No problem. No rush.
Oh, that's
no rush.
Flush, isn't it, for Franco van der Merwe? So Herbst and van der Merwe taking a long while.
Well, Herbst looked like a groin pull to me, or inside of the hamstring, which would be a worry. Such an integral part of a scrum that's just starting to get on top. And van der Merwe as well, he's such a hard worker. He's top tackler by 20 tackles this season for Ulster. They'd miss both of those 2 if they were to leave the field.
Is it HIA?
Replacements
it's
then.
It's going to be a permanent change, injured.
Waiting to come on. In the meantime, let's tell you about the
injury, no
other European rugby
required.
coming your way on BT Sport tomorrow. Harlequins against Leinster from 2:30 at the Stoop.
Mate,
BT Sport 2. The top 2 in Pool 2, and then it's Leicester against Toulon. 5:15. Again on BT Sport 2. You can also see Toulouse against Glasgow. That's on BT Sport Extra, which you can access via the red button. So still the men are down. Humphreys is ready to crack on with things. Van der Merwe is going to edge slowly towards the touchline. Johan Herbst is still down.
Number 3, what is it, injured or is it tactical, mate? Okay, so 3 and 5 is gone here. Is number 3 gone as well?
Herbst is in trouble.
Yeah, send him on, mate. On you go. Cheers.
He's not looking happy at all. So Declan Fitzpatrick onto the tight head for Neil Doak's side, and Alan O'Connor into the second row in place of van der Merwe.
Alan O'Connor
had a bright game last week against Munster.
Yeah, very. Just going to steal my words. Great talent. He actually, unfortunately for him, got a suspension earlier on this year, but he's a talent coming through their academy that they have high hopes for. So with Ian Henderson out injured, he's had a few more opportunities probably this year than he would have anticipated. But he's done very well when he's gotten them.
It's a massive loss to lose both those guys at the same time. Particularly Herbst, because that was an area that you just felt Ulster were able to dictate which side the scrum wheeled, take it away from the attacking threat of the Scarlets.
Thanks, Scotty. Yep. Okay.
So Fitzpatrick, a man of significant experience, an Ireland international. And of course, the tight head was an area that was hit hard in the summer with the departures of John Afoa and Tom Court.
Just wait till the line out's
So
over.
Rory Best with the line out on the Scarlets' 10-metre line, and it's secured. McCloskey is the target. Nick Williams hasn't been afforded a great deal of space tonight. Nick Williams, and closed down pretty effectively. Wilson signed a new deal to keep him here till 2017. Cave, Humphreys on the loop, passes forward.
Yeah, we're right in line with it here, and I think it's probably a good call. Ian Humphreys isn't happy with it, but we see a replay of it. They're very, very lateral, and no one really committed to anything. Oh, it's a tight call, but probably the right one for me. It's just been a bit of a stuttery first, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, second half.
Stuttery,
Lots of thank you. Neither side has really been able to get themselves into the game, so just need to settle it down, maybe play a bit of territory and see if they can build.
Crouch! Bind! Just stand up, please. There's no, hang on, there's no big issue, but we're pre-engaged both teams. Just create some space for yourselves.
Interesting
please.
setup behind the scrum here for the Scarlets, Brian.
Just
to make of this little cluster.
Spread out in a bunch.
You could throw a blanket over them.
Not something I've seen before, so intrigued. Who's the first receiver? Regan King.
Let's go. Crutch!
Something from Mark Jones' playbook.
Fine.
Could be.
Set!
Pittman for Davis. Now the runners storming through the middle. Scott Williams, and still going, and width kept alive, and Alan Davis can't gather it.
That's what the play was. All the others were just there to encourage Scott Williams to crash it up. Absolutely brilliant. You see him just come out of the shadows there. Everyone's worried about the four players in behind. Delayed, really nice pass from Davis. And he's back in supporting, but the ball just doesn't pop up. But look at the delay, just to put a little bit of confusion.
Who said that intricate plays can't be one-pass plays, you know? You show one picture and deliver something very different.
Scarlets, just wait for the ball, okay?
A lot of time out last season. Scott Williams with a shoulder problem.
Crutch!
Captain in place of Ken Owens, and
Bind!
Grand Slam winner, of course, from 2012 as well, when he scored that memorable try at Twickenham, stripping Courtney Laws and running in under the sticks.
Let's regroup quickly, quick fix.
Go on, Robbie, let's go in. We didn't move, sir. Let's go, Decky. Let's go. Let's go, Sam.
So a different look in the front row
No
with Declan Fitzpatrick now up against Rob Evans. Samson Lee renewing his acquaintance with Callum Black.
Crutch! Bind! Set! Hang on.
Rory Best just slipped there, or the far side's dropped.
We can referee it. I don't expect 6 people to tell what the decision is, okay?
See Fitzpatrick saying keep your head
we'll
up. A
come
lot
away
of
from
turf going beneath the players there.
Yeah.
Move in field, just get a good bit of purchase.
Keep up when he's gone. Come on.
It's looking like a roller carpet.
Right, shoulders above him. Quiet. Scrum.
I didn't ask for anything.
Quiet to his scrum. Come on, Robbie. Go, Sams. Right. Second. Rose. Good, Dan. Let's go.
Crutch.
Wait till. Let's go. Sing. Yeah.
Bind. Set.
Feeds. McCloskey again on the crash ball.
No, let him go. No, leave it go. 9.
Defensive work from
Hold there.
Snyman.
Hold. Hold.
Tangithakabo chasing in for this one.
That breeze looks as though it's picked up, if anything.
I haven't seen
and,
a touch, yeah, definitely.
you know, with the greasy ball as well, it hasn't been conducive to beautiful rugby to the
I'm
eye.
not sure
but
yet. If you
still got
Ulster,
25
you take the
minutes
mark,
left
I'll
of the
get the
game.
numbers, okay?
You know, one or other team needs to
How many?
pull their socks up and really try and go at the opposition, because the game is there for the taking from both sides if they can put a few phases of play together.
And that ball secured
That's advantage
by
Scarlets off a white hand in the
Pittman,
tackle.
and they have the advantage. Tangithakabo looks to go around the
Advantage over.
outside, slips through one. Good position this for the Welsh side as Pittman carries it up. Tackling is done by O'Connor. And there's the penalty. As Ulster fails to roll away.
I know, that's
and
why
you've got to
you
wonder quite how he was supposed to do that with around about 4 bodies on top of him.
Nah, I can't reward you until he's gone either. 19, roll.
It's one of those grey areas, isn't it?
What do you want to do? Post.
A little quiet word
Post
from his
goal.
captain.
Not bad enough being told off by the ref.
Exactly. If I'm going to break myself in the bottom of a ruck, doing the splits, you're going to roll away.
Hey.
Everybody has their arms out. Why is he not moving? I can't move. How am I supposed to move? That one's on the money. Scarlets firmly in touch here. 5 points the difference.
If we just look at that intricate play from the Scarlets, it basically boils down to the scrum half and Scott Williams picking on one defender. And he went to the scrum half and the ball's offloaded, and a beautiful line from Scott Williams, and they should have scored.
And the reason it was one defender is because the scrum had done their job. They'd wheeled the back row away. They thought they'd stay in, make it competitive.
Ludic. And he's screened Harry Robinson, who rather got stuck on the spot. Wilson. Tui. Enveloped by the red shirts.
Number 5 away first, please. Same as up there, I can't reward. You're in the way of the ball, number 5.
It's Johan Snowman getting the telling off. Pienaar doing what Pienaar does.
And they're leaving a bit of pressure. Ulster have been under pressure in this second half, and now an opportunity for the forwards to get together, use a bit of that muscle.
The wind has definitely picked up. And against that wind, Ulster now right where they want to be.
Yeah, they're not afraid to drive. This time no 9 at the front, which means Williams will probably go in on the ball. He'll drop back into that armchair and try and get the guys in front of him to do the work. He needs to not press on too far. They've lost the front part of jumpers and put Williams under pressure.
Real scrap for possession. Scarlets have secured it. Really good defensive work, and it's a very interesting ball to be floating inside your own 22. It's gone forwards.
Was it Tommy that came in, or Darren Cave? I didn't quite see, but it was a huge read. The ball seemed to be in the air for an eternity. Again, it was ribs wide open, just expecting the worst.
Again, Scarlett's been really good in the steal. Lovely hip toss there. Number 8 on number 8, back to the feet. And then floats up.
Emir Phillips.
Good from Bow to come from the outside, so he didn't see him. He couldn't just flip on. He didn't know where Tommy Bow was.
He had to have his outside players being his eyes there. And I wondered, the way he stepped into the ball, did he hear a shout from them to watch himself, watch his back?
So options each side here for Ulster this time. And Humphreys is lined up to the left.
Crutch! Bind! Set!
Different setup than defensively Scarlets have than Ulster. They've put one man in the boot behind the scrum, and there's Liam Williams trekking across, corner flagging, and
here's Tommy Bow.
That's his try-saving tackle. No, didn't quite get there.
Luke Pearce wants a look. And television match official Trevor Fisher called into action again.
Yeah, cheers. Trevor?
Luke, Trevor, yeah.
Any reason I can't award the try, please?
Okay, looking for any reason why not.
I don't think there is. Really good finish from Bow. Lovely run around from Ulster again. They're so good, the Ulster halfbacks, at that. We've seen Humphreys do it. Gets the leg drive, he keeps low so his feet don't go out. The ball's placed, there's nothing wrong with that.
He's in.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Okay. We've seen that a couple of times from the Irish national team. I think that's gone back to Declan Kidney's era. And if people run the appropriate lines, do it well, very, very hard play to defend.
It's the delay of the pass as well, isn't it? They're almost waiting for the defender to make the decision.
It is. It's you know, the big man. The big decision there was for Scott Williams, and the trick in defending it is you just have to sit off and wait for the pass to be played, and then try and push off the guy running short. But when you have big ball carriers coming short there, you got to respect them. You got to respect getting a good shoulder on them.
Really tricky kick, this one for Humphreys against the breeze, which is more than a breeze now. But the difference now 10 points, and Tommy Bow yet again on the money.
Yeah, here's the run around.
Yeah,
that ball goes slightly earlier, and everyone can just drift off.
Just 2 seconds, please. Send that player on.
Just wait till those defenders step in, they commit to the tackle.
On he comes.
Try scorer against South Africa and against Australia as well for the Irish in November. He's been in cracking form, Tommy Bow. Liam Williams has done himself an injury though in the process. And this is Gareth Owen.
That's all a winger wants, isn't it? Particularly these two Ulster winners, is one-on-one, 5 metres out. They feel they can beat anyone.
No arms, 4.
Be that through the power of Tommy Bow or the footwork of
arms, 4.
Gilroy.
Whoa.
No arms tackle this time from Jake Ball. So into the final 20. One more try is required for the bonus point victory for Ulster. Pool 3 delicately balanced at the moment. Toulon away at Leicester tomorrow. 5:15 kickoff live on BT Sport. Well, no arms,
cartoon bowling ball, wasn't it?
it was looked like quite a late decision as well from Jake Ball. Always going to run me over. Yeah.
Stay in 15-7.
Tui with the line-out ball, and more often than not, when they have secured that set-piece aerially, it has been Tui who's been doing that job. Rory Best tucked in nicely here.
Look at that control from Pienaar, hands on best, just making sure he can't lose him before the box kick.
It's being held up in the wind. It's a really awkward one for everybody.
Stay there, stay there. Okay, thanks.
A lot of distance on that, maybe a kindly bounce. Humphreys.
Out of the 10, Ulster, out of the 10!
And they're all offside, so they can't play it. Pittman can.
They're now onside.
Decent tackle made by Tommy Bowe. Had to stand up tall. Jake Ball carries it up. Scarlets once again inside the 22 and giving away the penalty. Nick Williams receiving the plaudits for his work over the ball.
I'll tell you what was impressive about that turnover was the fact that Ulster didn't commit too many. They didn't all dash to the ball when they were broken and the ball went in behind them. They got really good defensive line out right across the field and they let one man do his job. So often you see teams broken and they all flock to the ball, they panic. Ulster not panicking at all in defence.
In the weeks of these sort of games, when you see the threats like Nick Williams, I remember even when he played for Munster, he was always targeted during the week. This guy is a guy that's a great jackler, great over the poach. So let's make sure we beat him to the space. That's the big message. And first one of the day, I suppose he's done a worse job on teams than that.
Hard to believe when you see the size and shape of him that he is the brother of Tim Nanai Williams, who is an altogether different specimen and offers very different threats around the field. Both terrific rugby players. That's why we love the sport so much, isn't it? There's a place for every shape and size. Here he is again.
Keep an eye.
It's being held up in the wind, and Tommy Bowe's claimed it.
Tanguy Thackenbauer struggling with that wind. A couple of times they've put high balls up to him, it's not reached him.
A good blast upfield from Dan Tui. Humphreys. Gilroy chases hard. Gareth Owen's going to have to watch this very carefully. And the tackle is a very good one from Gilroy. A little bit of help from Louis Ludick.
No, quick.
One part of Craig Gilroy's game that is very, very strong. He's a physical player, uncompromising in his defence. A terrific athlete. Maybe if he could hone one or two areas of his game, bring in a little bit more of a distribution aspect to his game, but certainly from a defensive point of view, he is full on commitment.
And number 9, Scarlets. Number 9.
You'd struggle at the moment in Europe to find two wingers
so,
at a province or a club in better form. Tommy Bowe on fire, both of them working well in defence and in attack.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I think if you think about it too, last year Andrew Trimble was Irish Player of the Year, and Craig Gilroy couldn't get in the team. So it just shows with any opportunity, he's doing extremely well. And we had a good game against Georgia for Ireland in the November series too. So putting pressure on those guys that are holding the jerseys.
Well, the crowd have come to life as James Davis gathers it in.
Hold.
Change of scrum half for the Scarlets. Rodri Williams is on. And here goes Gilroy. Dragged down by Robinson. And Ulster have a man down. That may well be Nick Williams at the moment, who's requiring some treatment. Referee's down.
But smiling. Scrum holds the ball. Yeah, time off.
I don't know who it was that was going to get that ball back inside from Humphreys, but he must have been delighted that the referee was there. It was Tommy Bowe, because he was going to get ended.
Hang on.
They're tough, these referees.
Let me take that as well.
He's got a little extra spring in his step, hasn't he? He'll go over in a minute. Say sorry about that.
Sorry, lads, my fault. Ulster ball, yeah, I was in the way of his pass. Oh, cheers. That's fine. I need something.
Just if we have a look at the last try, the big thing for Darren Cave, he's the guy that's looking at Scott Williams. His shoulders are turned in, so the ball has to go out the back. Great line, I think it's from McCluskey, but because Williams commits to the tackle, out to scrum half, and a quick pop on to Tommy Bowe, he doesn't miss them from there.
Yeah, just take
McCloskey's line was just textbook, wasn't it? Yet another score.
Coach a few years ago said, when you're looking for bonus point tries, it's only one try every 20 minutes. When you break it down that way, they still have 15 minutes on the clock. They've got 3. Don't panic. Build your way down there. You can score a try in 30 seconds.
Okay, are we all good to go?
Moving off the field very easily there. It's another worry. Herbs look like quite a serious injury. Nick Williams, serious injury. There's one more going here.
So changes everywhere.
15 v 15, yeah.
Not looking happy.
Time on. He's going there, yeah.
So quite an attrition rate. Michael Allen is on in the Ulster back line now.
Crutch!
McCloskey off, having himself replaced Oldham.
Bind!
There is Mike Allen.
Set!
Fastborn.
Tommy Rowe reverts into the centre, playing at 13 with Cave moving in.
And it's penalty time.
Loose head stepping out of the scrum.
It's Rob Evans. Pienaar's going to tuck this into the corner by the looks of things. As close to it as he can manage.
You can still hear me, can't you, Gary? Yeah, you can still hear me. That's all right.
So composure, Brian, I'm guessing at this point
The line's yours, Scarlets.
Yeah, just build it. They don't have to score off this. Just try and either draw a penalty out and kick further into the corner. That is a big breeze. Get down closer to the try line and try and retain the ball through phases. Don't have to score off first phases. We saw them do against Leicester. Build 5, 6, 7 phases, either take a penalty or get a line break.
Tui again. The go-to guy at line out time. It's the 22-metre line. Reggie Wilson poised.
Just shifted away from the danger underneath. Not sure quite how he's come in legally. The referee agrees.
Truck and trailer, but no advantage. Side entry red. Number 90. Hang on.
Just saw Aaron Shingler coming round the side.
Listen,
they've done a really good job. Initial sack from the Scarlets, and they just shifted to the left, so they didn't trip over those 2 men on the floor. And as they shifted to the left, Shingler was still directly behind where the ball had been. And got pulled in, and as Brian said, they can go right to the corner now.
Yeah, all thoughts on the bonus point. No suggestion of points towards the post, and now arguably the most significant line out of the night so far.
Formation, okay? Formation. 6-man Scarlets. 2 meters receiver.
You'd have to think that if the backs do get their hands on the ball at any stage, just a simplified one-pass play is what they need here. Nothing too intricate.
Great work from Dyack, really bending the back to secure that.
They just want to settle. They've don't manage to do that. Man at the back, secure. Rory Best, loads of experience. Doesn't want to get tied in too far. Pienaar coming to protect him. Now come the backs as well. They're in good form here.
They're close. They're very close. They're over. It's the captain, Rory Best, who delivers the bonus point. It should deliver the win from here, and it should keep their European Cup hopes alive.
Their textbook driving line-out play. Initial riposte from Scarlets was good, but they kept their composure. They waited, they rode out the storm, they got the ball to the back. Rory Best hands on, and then Pienaar makes a really good decision to come in, protect the ball there, and then come the backs just to add the extra weight, shove Rory Best over the line. There's no way he was going to let anyone else pop up with that ball.
You tend to find that forwards at the backs of balls not pass it on to backs that are joining in. We're told to push on ahead of them and lend your considerably small amount of power and weight to the maul. We've already done the hard work. just protect us.
I've had a few backs in my time try and rip the ball off the forwards on the floor, to which they've had a smack in the face.
Well, it hasn't been his night from the tee, Ian Humphreys. That's now 2 from 6. And the scoreline could look rather different if he'd had his kicking boots. Always good to see Father Christmas in the crowd. Bit of an R&R before his busy couple of weeks. Owen through the first tackle. Rodri Williams whips it away for Priestland. Evans.
Advantage, one offside.
Priestland for Regan King. Space for Emir Phillips. Nice pass as well. Onwards through the hands. Harry Robinson. Again, Ravenhill falls silent. Scott Williams. Rory Best clings on to his shirt. And there is the previous penalty.
They're so close, Scarlets, aren't they, to getting things so right. But just the odd pass, not quite 100% accurate. People having to check, not able to run onto the ball. Really nice opportunity created, but just not quite finished off there.
We haven't seen a huge amount of Regan King in this game. Hasn't really been one for him, but we saw a little bit of his subtlety there, just picking the right pass, seeing the defender had moved outside, and just putting Phillips through the gap.
1 and 2. Take the 5 for me.
Classy player, isn't he, Regan King? Always seems to have plenty of time on the ball as the changes are rung in the front row for the Scarlets. Kirby Myhill, the new hooker,
Hold there, mate. Just hold there.
made his European debut against Toulon in the opening round, and Phil John, the 33-year-old Scarlets legend, onto the loose head. Seems to have been around forever. Played his 300th Scarlets game a couple of weeks ago.
Time is off. It's going to be a 6-man,
His role doubled up now as scrum coach as well.
6? All in or 6? 6-man. Thank you.
He was doing November way before it was cool to do it.
He's gone.
Nobody's told him the month has changed either by the looks of things. Pittman can't get his hands on it. Rodri Williams, shaking off the first tackle and making way up to the 5-metre line.
Hold there, Ulster.
Shingler. Pittman. Stopped by O'Connor. Really good defensive work. Dyak, great tackle. Priestland.
Tackle!
Pienaar holding him up nicely, but the ball has been presented. Rodri Williams flicked on nicely. Gareth Owen to no one.
Okay. Just a knock on then, so no penalty. Okay, fine. Knock on, scrum.
Just a little bit of lack of depth outside for the Scarlets.
Yeah, nice touch from Priestland, just tips it on another day. Ooh. Is it Ludic? Does he know what he's doing? When you stick the hand out that way, referees don't love that. Another angle mightn't be as pleasant viewing.
9.
Give him the benefit of the
Don't hold
doubt.
him back, and I'll make sure he doesn't slap you out.
Ulster looked as though they were getting hungry for defence. I think that's a great sign. Obviously, they're the comfort of having all 4 tries, but not wanting the opposition to cross your whitewash as well. And you can tell the crowd is getting excited about it too, making sure that the score remains as such.
Spacing.
Yeah, Johnny Bell will be very keen that the whitewash is not crossed. He's in charge of the Ulster defence, supporting Neil Doak, Alan Clark taking care of the forwards, and of course Les Kiss, the director of rugby in waiting. He'll come into his post after the World Cup,
Come back.
having taken charge for a short spell after the departure of
No pre-engagement.
David Humphreys. There's been a
Too close.
fair amount of change at the top for
So you're leaning in.
Ulster,
Fair enough. Just get your space in
not
right,
just
please.
because of the
Should we do
coaching
this at
setup with
70th
David
minute?
Humphreys leaving for Gloucester, but also in the playing staff as well. There's Neil Doak to the left, Johnny Bell to the right. And on the playing front, we've mentioned them a lot. Court, Afoa, Muller, all departing. Stephen Ferris, of course, a retirement as well. Period of transition at Ravenhill. Massive bodies, and it's taken by Ulster and Roger Wilson.
He's had a good game today, Roger Wilson. Boyd after signing a new 2-year.
Priestley. Nicely done. Owen. Inside ball for Rodri Williams, and that's a penalty, and this may well be a card.
Wait. Deliberate
Pienaar.
9. Hang on.
Deliberate knock-on from the retreating 9.
If the last one wasn't, that certainly was.
But again, really nice play to open up the Ulster defence, and can't quite get that last pass to hand, I know, this time.
Cheers.
Illegal intervention. Now with the 9 off the field, an opportunity to try and get their own driving play going.
Wait. Gareth, hold the 9 there.
I'm surprised Pienaar even walked back to the referee. He didn't just keep his run going towards the sideline.
So Ulster down a man, but securing the ball. It's not terribly tidy, but it's enough.
Scarlets.
And Humphreys performing an unfamiliar role from the base.
Advantage,
the
not
desired
Fred.
result. It's gone forwards off the Scarlets.
Advantage
and that's
over.
a rather more familiar position to be clearing from, but it hasn't found touch. It's found Tangathakiba. Back inside the 22, just about. Gareth Owen. Scott Williams waiting out wide here. First it's taken up by Shingler. To the short side they go, Priestland.
Thank you, just got cheers, mate.
Pittman. Ulster on permanent defensive duties for the time being. Wide it goes. Nice little burst from Lewis Rawlins. Tackled well by Mike Allen.
Oh, he got drawn out there, didn't he? He was schooled a little bit. Craig Gilroy thought he identified the pass that Reece Priestley was going to throw, and he double pumped it and then threw it behind his back.
Number 6, White's changing, lad. Number 6. Number 6 changer.
It was Shingler that threw the pass.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Paul Marshall's on.
It's on, Scotty. It's on, Scotty.
Robbie Dyack is the man who's been sacrificed. With Pienaar off the field, of course.
Yeah.
Marshall, of course, the man who's been starting for Ulster in Pienaar's absence through knee trouble. More than 100 appearances for the club. Ireland international.
Fine. Set. Stay on 9.
Good shove from Ulster here. They won the penalty. Ben, time for your man of the match.
Well, yeah, I think there's been a number of candidates for the Ulster team. They've obviously played particularly well. I think Ruan Pienaar coming back in has been excellent. Roger Wilson, as Brian mentioned before. But for me, the man who made the difference when the game was still in the balance with some excellent running lines, my Heineken man of the match is Darren Cave.
Started the try scoring this evening, Darren Cave. It was a good one too.
Yeah, well adjusted.
he'll tell you he's had a hand in all 4 tries, getting involved in that maul. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him, so you couldn't find a more deserving man of the match for that performance.
Just a case of running down the clock as much as they can now.
No, 5!
Marshall watching and waiting, and marching they go. Driven on now by Rob Herring.
Hell of a way to run down the clock. They've got the penalty advantage.
Little dink over the top. That could be a nice one potentially. Cave was looking for it. Instead, Tangithakabau has it, and they'll come back for the penalty.
A free opportunity for Ian Humphreys, and you had the penalty. Just to lift one over the top, try and get a miracle try. It's not on. Now they can kick to the corner again. Roll that clock down a little bit more. Get the forwards back involved with the driving play.
On the line, mate.
So into the final
not
minute.
On that side, but on my side, the guy collapsed it.
It's going to be tough from this pool. There's no debating that, but maybe, just maybe, with the new format, potentially there's just a tiny sniff of being able to escape having lost the first two.
No transfer! No arms tackle.
Really good communication from the referee. No one likes to see teams
use arms. You can't just go at his ankle
not
with the shoulder.
competing at the maul. So many teams doing it at the moment. Scarlets aren't alone in that. In fact, most teams are doing it, but Ulster got it spot on by not transferring the ball away from the initial receiver. The referee communicated that, and then the tackle that comes in penalised, and Ian Humphreys can just end the game.
The bonus point win for Ulster. It may be slim, but they do still have a chance of qualification off the back of that. Another 5 points next week would give them heart still further, but they've got the kickstart that they needed tonight. Try scorers Cave, Pienaar in the opening half, and Bow and Best after the break. Ulster beating the Scarlets by 24 points to 9, and the crowd here at Kingspan very, very happy with the job that's been done. Here's how the pool looks then. Toulon sitting on top still with 8 points from their 2 matches. They're up against Leicester tomorrow, and we'll be there live from Welford Road. But Ulster up into second place with 6 points, Scarlets with 4, no bonus point for them tonight. And Leicester on 4 after their 2. What do you think, Ben? Have they got any chance at all?
Well, they've got more chance than if they hadn't got that bonus point. So look, we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, we'll see as well whether Toulon have a little bit of a wobble. It's a difficult ask, but of course they're still in the hunt, and that's all that they wanted to get from tonight. And even if they don't get through, the performance, the manner of the performance, will have given them a springboard for the rest of their season in the Guinness Pro 12.
Still unbeaten at home this season. Full-time Ulster 24, Scarlets 9, and Martin Bayfield is with our man of the match.
I've been joined by 2 heroes of the Ulster victory. Captain, first of all, captain's performance. You desperately needed a performance tonight, and you got it.
Yeah, we were obviously under a wee bit of pressure, having not won a game yet. So yeah, I think we dug in well. We were scrappy in the first half. Our set piece, a particular line-out didn't function the way we wanted, but we regrouped at half-time and we showed a lot of character. We got that sorted, and you know, when we knew if we could get boys like KV here and the rest of the backs a bit of ball, they're dangerous, and you know, we got that.
It was a nervy start, uncharacteristic from Ulster in the first 10-15 minutes, and then a bit of magic from the boys in the backs calmed everyone around here.
It wasn't an easy night to play rugby, and I think to get 4 tries and like tonight, here's a pretty good effort. Like as you found at the end there, we were a man down. I thought we dug deep in to keep them out. It was a hard night to score tries, so I don't think it was a perfect performance, but I think when you get a result like that without playing that well, it's a sign of a good team.